Hello, everyone. So we have another MathCON practices. So this is a grade 8, but the question that I will do might be useful for high school students as well. Any 6th and 7th grade might be taking advantage of as well. So the first problem, we have a geometry, and we have a like convex polygon with 7 sides, right? And what we want is the missing angle. So the first thing that we need to remember, the angle sum, interior angle sum in any polygon is n minus 2 times 180. And I don't want you to remember this as a formula. This is just common sense based on some exploration. So this is the sum of the angles that is inside, okay? Interior angles. So if you add all these interior angles, that will be n minus 2 times 180. If you are wondering why this is the case, the short reminder is you make some triangles. Like say you want to make triangles from drawing some additional segments. And if you do have this, so you are gonna able to make 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 triangles. So each triangle angle sum is 180. That will be 5 times 180 if you add all together. The n minus 2 will be 7 minus 2, which is 5. You can kind of use this reasoning. The reason why it's 2, because let's say you start with this corner, right? You cannot connect with this side. You cannot connect with this vertex, like vertex. So, but other than those two vertices, you can connect the point that you choose with any other vertex other than two next adjacent ones. So which is why you can make that n minus 2 of these triangles. That is something. You have 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 lines, but 4 lines will make 5 triangles. So that looks like one way we can say it. Okay, so that's the formula. But anyway, so that is one way to make a reasoning for it at least. And if you add these numbers, but be smart, so we have 2 copies of them, and that is 2 times 140, and then we have 2 copies of 105, and we have 2 copies of 130, and we are allowed to use a calculator, so you don't have to do this much work, but I will do this anyway. So if you add these two, that's 270, plus 100 is 385, okay, 2 times 385, right? Let me double check. So 270, actually it's 75. Okay, so then if you multiply by 2, so you will get 2 times 300, 600. And 2 times 75 is 150. So that looks like we have 750. So some of the angles that we are given is 750, but the angle sum, since we have 7 sides, so that will be 7 minus 2 times 180, so which is 900. And then 900 minus 750 is 150. That is your answer, okay? So that was the number 1. So I hope that was clear. So let's see the next one. So the second question is asking some different operation, but it doesn't matter what operation we are given. So we just need to follow what's written basically. Whenever you have a like star B or something else other than star, you are going to just follow what you are given on the other side, right? But there's something going on right here. So this is a squared, this is b squared, this is a minus 2ab. And if you don't know the square of binomial, like if I have x plus y, which is called binomial, when you square this, this is equal to x plus y times x plus y. Okay, so if you expand this, just FOIL it basically. So x times x is x squared, and x times y is xy, and then y times x is also another xy, and then y times y will be y squared. If you clean these middle two terms together, so that will be 2xy and plus y squared. And then this is called square of binomial, which is really important identity. And you don't need to know this one in order for to this problem, but I will make that a bit faster if I do know that, because this can be written like a square minus 2 times a times b plus b squared. And if this was x minus y to the second power, so that would be x squared minus 2xy plus y squared. So that is the same reasoning. And since we are given this, I can write it as a minus b to the second power. I can skip all of these steps if I recognize this is the different the square of binomial, okay? But if I don't, I just need to plug whatever is given, that's okay. the first thing we are given 2 star 4, right? So if I do this 2 star 4, so that will be our basically A, and this will be B. So A minus B will be 2 minus 4 to the second power, which is 4. And if I do the same thing with 6 and 8, so 6 and 8, so that will be 6 minus 8 squared, and that is also 4. And as soon as we have the 4, so the first parenthesis, the whole thing right here is 4, and this is also 4. The question is now asking for that operation and 4. That was the like A minus B, which is just 4 minus 4 to the second power, which is 0. And that's the choice there. So again, if you don't see this, if you never seen this before, the square root binomial, you would just plug A is 2, B is 4, and substitute right here, get the result, which is going to give you this, and do the same thing with 6 and 8, and then you get another 4, and then plug those 4 and 4 again, just to see the result to be 0, okay? So that was straightforward square root binomial question, okay? Let's take a look at the next one. So the question is a combinatorics, right? So in a particular city, all the phone numbers are 5-digit numbers, which start with 4 or 5. So it could be either of these. And then 2 and 9 doesn't work. Okay, so we should keep this in mind. And how many phone numbers in the city can Gary dial on his phone if the digit cannot be repeated? So this is also a straightforward problem, but here's what we are going to do. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 digit, right? So we do have some restriction, which means the first digit should be 4 or 5. We have two options. If I start with 4, that is okay, or start with 5, that's also okay. So we have two options to choose from. And like we have 0, like 1, 2, 3, all the way to the 9. So we have 10 digits, right? So 10 digits. So if you have 10 digits, and then we already use one of them, maybe 4, maybe 5, let's say we use 5 for this spot, then we cannot use 2 and 9 either. So 2 and 9 doesn't work. So 10 digit, so 1 digit is used, 2 digit doesn't work, so we have 7 digits left. So I could choose one of the remaining 7, even 0 is okay. And as soon as I choose one of the remaining 7s, I cannot use that anymore. So I need to have 6 other options for the next digit. So I can choose one of the remaining 6 options, and then 5 options and 4 options. And if you have a like series of event that is happening in order for one thing to happen, which is basically to make these 5-digit like numbers, then I do need to multiply all these numbers together. So that's called fundamental like theorem of counting. So you can use calculator for sure, but I'm going to do this a little bit differently. So multiply these two, which is 10, and 7 times of 642. So we have 42 times 4 times 10. So 4 times 4 is 16. That's 160. 4 times 2 is 8, 168. But you need to multiply by 10 as well. So that is our choice E. So that was also straightforward question, okay? So let's look at the next one as well. So here's the number 4, which is a number theory. So we have x and y are integers, and y equals 3x plus 3 over x minus 1. We are looking for some of the possible values of x. Like you can go ahead and try some different numbers to see which one does work, but it's going to take a while to get all of these, and then you never know if you are missing any. So which is why it's not really safe to try. So instead, I'll try something else. Like if you're trying to like write this as a fraction, like a number divided by some expression, then you have less option to try, because if you have a numerator to be integer, so that integer should have only a few divisors, so you can go ahead and take only those, which is going to make a bit faster. But in this problem, the numerator is not integer, so we have to do something like that. So if you have some idea about the long division, then I can just use the long division. So we have 3x plus 3, and divide this by x minus 1. And if you are not sure about what I'm talking when I say long division, I will show you another option as well. but you just use the division in a way that we use a algebra expression instead of numbers. So the question you have to ask, what number should I multiply x by so I can get the highest degree term, which is 3x, which is just 3. So 3 times x will be 3x. 3 times -1 will be -3. So if you do this subtraction, so you will get 3x minus 3x will be 0. 3 minus -3 will be 6. So if you do this, this is going to be same as y equals, like we got the, like a remainder and also a quotient, right? So that should be 3 plus remainder is 6 over 1, okay? 6 over x minus 1. So if this is not like clear, like look at the second approach I'll try. So this is the way that we use for the long division. So then the x minus 1 should be divisor of 6. So then you can say x minus 1 should be 6, 3, 2, 1, -1, -2, 3, and -6. So because we are told integers, so it could be any value. So if I add 1 to both sides, so you will get x equals 7, 4, 3, 2, 0, -1, -2, and -5. So if you want to add these, because what we are looking for is the sum of the x values, which is these guys. So this is already -7. So this is 7 that will cancel each other. So -1 and +2 is just 1. 4 plus 7, 4 plus 3 is 7, plus 1 is 8. So it looks like we have choice D. So again, this is the long division, so you can review if you need to. And the second solution, like the expression we are given is easier, so which is why we don't really need to use this at all. But like your goal is to get x minus 1 from the numerator. So then you are going to try your best to factor the numerator, but I need to get 3 out of it. So if I multiply 3 by x minus 1, that is going to be same as this guy. But 3 times x is 3x, which is good. 3 times -1 is -3, but that's +3. So I should have something to make that +3, which is basically 6. So then I can write the numerator like this. Okay, so this is x minus 1, 3 times x minus 1 plus 6. So if you expand this, you will get exactly this guy. And now I can split this like expression as 3 times x minus 1 over x minus 1 plus 6 over x minus 1. And then these guys will cancel so that you get y equals 3 plus 6 over x minus 1. So the reason, like, as you say, this is the same as what we have. I just didn't tell right here, but, I just look at the denominator and then said what makes this fraction is integer is my answer, because this 3 is already integer. So whatever you have integer from here will be added to 3. So to get another integer, which does work every time. So which is why we don't really care about this 3. So we just need to make this fraction to be integer. So only way that will happen if x minus 1 is a divisor of 6. That's basically what we do right here. And the rest is the same as this approach. So we are done with this solution as well. Okay. So we did 4 questions for different areas of math. Basically, it's being tested. So take a look at each question and see if you don't feel much better about those, and just do more practice about these on your own. Okay. I'll see you in the next video.